Hey, it's Tom Jacomos with the Power Networking Club here for a Power Talk with Brian Rassi, the CEO of Instigate.com, our financial fitness expert, helping entrepreneurs across America get prepared and helping them with ongoing funding needs for their business. Welcome, Brian.
Oh, thanks for having me, Tom. Always love coming and talking with you and your entrepreneur network as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to first of all say that Brian's going to be at our upcoming expo. The expo schedule is on powernetworkingclub.com. He's always a favorite. Brian's a powerful speaker, has a lot of good information about funding for entrepreneurs. So go to powernetworkingclub.com and join us at the upcoming expo here in 3 weeks. And Brian, I want to talk a little bit about today because quite a few members have been approaching me, and I've been connecting them with you about getting prepared when you're leaving the W-2 employee world, getting ready to launch or enter the entrepreneur space. What are things that entrepreneurs have to do to be prepared?
That's a great transition there, Tom, because I've done it the wrong way and I've seen people do it the wrong way. So to actually think it through is the first step of this game, because when you go leaving something that's secure, a W-2, like you're making a conscious decision. You're making the conscious decision. I'm leaving a W-2 and I'm going into an entity, an LLC, a new business, an incorporation, whatever the entity is. You're going from this secure world to entrepreneur world, which is fun. It's exciting, but it is risky because it does not have the security of the old W-2 attached to it. So there's a couple things that happen when you make that shift that you have to be conscious of, so you do it the right way. Number one is when you leave security and you go in and start something new, usually there's a ramp up period that you have to prepare for, meaning money's not coming in. It's hard to get some things off the gate, and you can't get everything done right. Okay. Not everything's always going to be done right. So you have to prepare for not having income coming in for a while, right? Or at least the opportunity or the risk, or knowing that that is a possibility, and and are willing to take that on at the right time. If you're not able to prepare or budget it out and have not done that, then you really need to think about why you're still in W-2 land, to plan out what that is over here and think a step. Maybe you got to work an extra month or two to get all your ducks in a row, get your T's crossed and your I's dotted, right? Maybe you have to work a little bit on two career, like one career, and really work after hours or a weekend hustle, right? To get this entity up and running where you have recurring income. You only know you. You only know you. I can promise you, if you make the jump and you're not ready and it does not go according to plan, then it gets a little more scary and dicey, because there's a thing called energy that we all know about, and we all get sometimes. Have you ever tried to get someone or make money when you really needed money and it had to happen by a certain time? It becomes very, very, very stressful. And it's very hard to create a business when you are stressed out about money and then you're asking someone for money. That is a very tough thing to do. And not many people know how to do that, especially when they make this jump to this jump. The second issue that happens when you make the W-2 jump to the entrepreneur jump is usually you create a business plan or a business that looks like an employee job. It's just now you're running it like an LLC. And that's another issue, because now you think you're becoming a business owner, but really you just captivated yourself into a job that you own with all the risk and none of the security. Have done both of them. It's not fun when you create an employee type business and now you're captivated making less money with less security than you did over here. So you really need to think through both of them and think through it so you can actually go into this venture with all the right reasons, with all the right mindset, with all the right support to actually make the venture be successful. Now, how do you do that? Well, very simply, you probably should get a business plan. Like you should start preparing and writing out what you want to do. Two, possibly go in and get an associate to help walk you through the transition of this new business and getting this thing up and running. So you're not starting from scratch, especially if you haven't done it before. Number three is maybe you think about getting a little bit of a nest egg or funding in place while you're over here for this venture to help bridge that gap. If you say, oh, it's going to take me 6 months to start making money, awesome. Then you need to have 6 months ready to go before you jump to be ready to alleviate that pressure. So you don't go in the next month thinking, I got to make this. And if I don't, then that's when you make all the bad decisions. You start going all the wrong paths. You start seeing the shiny object that you shouldn't be looking at anyway. You really should put your head down and start building this thing for all the right reasons. So a lot of things go into this, Tom. It's not so easy and cut and dry as just making the jump. Because if you make the jump and it doesn't go right, then you're in a pretty tough predicament. And I don't want anyone to go in that predicament, especially if you're conscious about this. Like you're making a conscious choice. I'm making a conscious choice. I'm leaving W2 world and going into entrepreneur world. That's now, if you get laid off, I get it. If you get like furloughed or whatever, like, and stuff happens out there, that happens all the time. And then you're like forced into it. Then you're hustling on the job and it's a little bit different. But if you have all the conscious decisions to go into this new venture, just think it through. And if you haven't thought it through and you want someone to help you think it through, there's plenty of mentors. There's plenty of advising groups. There's a lot of information out there at your fingertips to start a new venture for all the right reasons and map out a right plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I started my first business when I was 27, and it was the plastic display manufacturing business. So that's a heavy capital requirement, and I wasn't prepared at all. I went into it with what I thought was a lot of money, and now I know that it was 10% of what I should have had. And so I ran into all those obstacles you're talking about. The cash runs out. Of course, you've got equipment and you've got inventory and you've got payroll and you've got things that you invested in, but you need liquid cash on a daily basis when you're running a business, and all these things need to be prepared for. So that's why people need to contact you, right, Brian?
Well, either us or someone that they trust that they can work through this, because not doing it is not an option. If you're in that thing, like you really need to get your ducks in a row and learn from the hard knocks lessons of Tom and I over the years. Yeah. When you make the jump, it's awesome. It's thrilling. It's awesome. It's a fun ride to create something. You know that, Tom. You know what it is to create something and put all your passion and help people. And that's what the Power Networking Club does. It helps, bring forth exposure and bring forth a good structure, especially with these live expos and what you're doing over there. That's why I always love coming to Chicago. I always love coming to meet the Power Networking Club, because there's just some class act entrepreneurs in that organization. And the point is you have a lot of information. Just don't put your head in the sand and think you're going to do it yourself. Don't be that A-type personality. Ask for help. Find the right people. Find the right structure. You can do this. You can do this. This isn't that hard these days. It's not as hard as it was back in the day when you did yours, Tom. The amount of technology that's literally on our phones right now is more than what presidents had 25 years ago. Just think about that. Like, we literally have the world in our hands to create anything we want, get access to any type of money we want, access to any person we want on a flip of a dime. Look what we're doing, this call from other parts of the country, on video being shared on social media. There's no excuse, if you are going to leave this world to go in this world, to not have your ducks in a row and not get everything you need financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, business wise, vendor wise, whatever you want to call it, salespeople wise, personnel wise. It's all available, but you got to ask for it. You got to ask for it. No one's just going to go give it to you.
Yep.
No one's, you have to seek this information out from all the people, and don't think it's going to come to you, because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. But I promise you, if you go to a guy like Tom, or you come to a organization like Instigate, we have had our arms in this for some years. We can see things that could be potential bumps that you don't have to hit. You don't have to hit them anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's an excuse. You don't have to do it the hard way these days.
That's perfectly said, because in all of my marketing on my website and everywhere you look, we say that we created the Power Networking Club to help entrepreneurs grow their business more efficiently, basically by learning from our mistakes, right? I made every mistake you could conceive of. And, I caught some lucky breaks. I did some advertising. I got some national accounts in the plastic business, things, I survived, I thrived. It's been 29 years now. It has not been easy. It is not it is not all glory, but it is satisfying. But we want to help entrepreneurs succeed. So that's why we designed the club, and that's why we partner with Brian and Instigate, because we've developed the partnerships with people that we know have the tools that every entrepreneur needs.
Yeah, I love being a part of the group. I love coming to Chicago. I love these expos. I'm actually pretty fired up. I always like coming back to get the Portillo's food, all the good stuff that comes from Chicago and all our relationships up there. So this is really cool. I'm always grateful to have these talks, and we have many topics. There's a lot of things in business that, as you know, Tom, which is why I think the best route for people, if they want to get more information, if they want to make this leap, and it comes down to financial needs, the best place for people to start is our funding possibilities guide, a clarity guide for business owners and entrepreneurs. And the best way to do that, it's really easy. Once again, this is technology, is all you have to do is pull out your cell phone and you type in 6 digits, 411321, 411321, and you type the word possible, POSSIBLE, because it is possible. Possible. Hit send. It's going to ask you for your email, and then you're going to get this wonderful clarity guide. It's literally going to tell you wherever you're at on your entrepreneurial journey, where to go seek the funding that you need from the right funding source so you don't waste time. This is a foundational piece. So if you are seeking to jump from W-2 to LLC land or incorporation land or whatever entity land, you start here. This is where you start, okay? This is where you start getting your foundation information, because you need it. You need to know what you know before you go into this thing for all the right reasons, okay? And if you need help, of course, we'll be around. Tom will be around. The group will be around. The club will be around. There's plenty of people that can offer advice if you want it, okay? But I would start there. That's the best advice I can give to anybody.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. So once again, text 411-321 and text the word possible to get that guide that Brian's showing you right there. Or that's the word possible to 411-321. We will put that on these. We will link that up to these videos. Come out and meet Brian and dozens of other entrepreneurs at the expo coming up on August 18th in 3 weeks. We're excited. Engaging Speakers is going to be there helping us with our 30-second pitches. That's always a lot of fun. Columbus Life Insurance is a major sponsor, and they've got some great retirement planning information for entrepreneurs, because when you take that leap, you also make the leap into providing for your own retirement. So we've got a lot of value to bring on entrepreneurs. Brian, thanks again for this valuable power talk. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the expo on August 18th.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And I can't wait to see you as well and everyone.
All right, buddy. Take care for now.
All right. You got it.